I just finished a 3-day event at the Northwest Tarot Symposium here in Portland. Let's talk about what that experience was like, start to finish. So this story, I'm going to basically just do off the cuff because I want to make sure that I spend the time to actually tell you the story and tell you some of the things that I got out of it, the takeaways that I got, the decks, the books, the stuff, all the fun stuff that you get when you go to a symposium and you spend all this time around all of these brains and all of these creatives. But I want to cover the whole spectrum, but not take 15 hours to do it. So let's just dig in. So I did Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I drove in Thursday, landed Thursday night, kind of got, acclimated to my space, got, all happy about my big old bed, chatted with my wife, enjoyed the day, right? And then tucked in, and we started at 9 a.m. Friday, and it was all of the keynote speakers. And we had the best keynote speakers. So check-in was super early, so it was between 7 and 9. And then we had the opening ceremony, which was from the presenters. I believe it was Michelle Walsh and another sweet pea. Sorry, I'm making sure my light stays on. I have a little like sunlight alarm clock, and it's giving me lovely glow right now, so I'm living for it. Anywho, so our first presenter was Barbara Moore and Charles Harrington. Now, I've never heard of Charles Harrington before. Harrington before? There we go. I've never heard of Charles before, but of course, Barbara Moore, I know her. I've heard of her through Llewellyn. I've sold her decks. I've worked with her cards before, so just I knew her, and I was excited to see who this person was. I was so like impressed and pleased as to like what kind of person she is and how kind of like bubbly and funny she is. I never came across in any of the stuff that I don't know why I never came across, but her sense of humor is just freaking adorable. Like, I want to just love her. I just want to hug her and love her, but boundaries. Charles I've never met before, so I didn't have like that same experience, but he was really smart. He was super intelligent. And the coolest thing for me though is that Benabel Wen actually like introduced them onto the stage. And so I'm kind of fangirling out like, oh my god, there she is, kind of thing. And I'm all high pitched and in the back. No one knows where I'm here. I'm in the back. No one knows what I'm doing. And I'm just fangirling out. And so while I'm sitting in that backspace, kind of just enjoying what everyone's talking about, I'm making casual friends with the woman beside me and casual friends with the woman behind me. And of course, day one, keynote speaking one, why didn't I think to bring my tarot cards to a tarot symposium? I brought my cards, like I actually have them in my room, but I didn't bring them to the first like speaking thing because it's just like, it's a keynote speaker. You're speaking. You're not doing workshops and classes and things. Yeah. So Barbara walked us through a cute little tarot spread that I absolutely adored, and it was like a whole little experience. So I read for the woman behind me, and she read for me, and I had the opportunity to kind of read for her the way that I do. So I pulled in a little tiny bit of mediumship in like 3 minutes. Mediumship, some tarot cards, gave her a session, she gave me a reading, and it was the most endearing little minute I've ever spent with a stranger ever. And it was needed, it was validation, it was endearing, it made me feel like I was seen, it made me feel like my work means something, it makes me feel like I value purpose, direction. Like when you have those moments in like minutes, just mind blown. Mind blown. So I was on to a good start. That was not even before. That was before lunch. That was not even before lunch. So we listened to Barbara. They were talking about the threshold of magic and exploring liminal space. And so they were really trying to talk about ways to create liminal thresholds and experiences. And when it comes to being a worker or a reader or, working in this kind of industry, how people sometimes have the expectation that they're going to come into an environment, into a space, and it's going to be a little bit of magic, a little bit of something else. Now, I really want to incorporate that into my practice in some way, shape, or form. So I really got to figure out or think that through. What would it look like for me to create liminal space as part of my, my video sessions with my clients? I don't know how yet, but I'll figure it out. And they actually threw out a flippant comment that gave me a brilliant idea through Zoom. So I might be playing with some things. But we'll see. After that was this wonderful soul named Andrea. I don't want to butcher her last name, but her talk was the story of us, and this was the part 2. And this is walking the path of the hero's journey. Now, this woman impressed me. She impressed me because I loved her sense of storytelling. I loved her her stories, the things that she had written. She's also a deck creator. She's a writer. She is a creative and jewelry. She does so many things. Like, she totally seems like one of those women that would have been in the group of women that my my wife and her her bestie, would have like had around. Like, I'm surprised I don't kind of know her on the side because of, you know, the group that we went in. So it's just like, I should know you. And the funny and terrible thing is, like, I kept trying to go and meet this person the whole time. Like, all 3 days, I keep trying to keep an eye out for her. I keep trying to, like, scope the room to see if she's around so that maybe I can help kind of serendipitously make a connection. And for the life of me, every room that I was in, even when she was there, I couldn't quite get her attention. I couldn't make it not awkward by like me flying across the room. Hi, stranger. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud to meet you, kind of thing. So I didn't do that. I probably should have in all reality. I should have just beelighted over there. But I really wanted to like enjoy the event and not be a weirdo any more than I already am, and just kind of have time, have fun, have space. I didn't want to bombard her and say, like, you know, you're my biggest fan, or I'm your biggest, you know, whatever, that kind of thing. So anyway, I really enjoyed her. Andrea, if I ever get to meet you, honey, hi, I'm Abby. It was so nice to hear your stories. It was so nice to see your face. Thank you for being another brown woman in this space and taking up room with us. So thank you, honey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to have to clip this and send it to her. So after Andrea was Matt, oh God, Arwen? He is the guy who wrote, where'd he go? Psychic Magic. So this book has like made a splash in the metaphysical field ever since he wrote it, because it's all about like, it's super step-by-step practical, developing the psychic and the intuition in relation to just, actually, I need to read it. Uncovering the secrets to becoming a powerful psychic witch. When you put those words on the back of a book, of course the masses are going to eat it up, right? So, but in the reviews that I've watched for this book, because I kept like playing with the idea of getting it, kind of not, because, you know, I like intuitive stuff. My development's it can always get better. I got it on my iPad, but the experience of having a tactile book is still different. It's still different. I love using my iPad, my Kindle for just ingesting reading, but if I actually want to study something, I feel like I need it in print. So I got this book. He has another book that I think just dropped a day or two ago, and I got it out beforehand. It's Mastering Magic. So this is Create Personalized and Soul-Stirring Magic with best-selling author Matt Arwen. And that I look forward to studying this as well. I hope it is as equally transformative as his other book promises to be, because I don't spend a lot of time in books that I do not love. So it's funny, I do that for people. I spend time with people that I don't really care about, and I just like change my mind, man, and they don't, and I get mad and disappointed that it didn't happen. But I don't do that with my books. my books have to, like, I have to love them, or I'm not gonna stick it out with them. So I suspect that Psychic Witch will pull me back in, because I didn't finish it on my iPad, and this finish, this is like soft pedal matte finish. This book, I look forward to trying it out. P.S. If you did not know, True Black, the author of True Black Tarot, Arthur Wang, just created a new Kickstarter campaign. So as soon as I get done with this video, I'm totally going over there and pledging, because, oh my God, those set of cards are stunning. And they're kind of like white on tech, whatever. Okay, anyway, I digress. Go do that. Support that deck creator, because, oh my God, his work is amazing. So yeah, we listened to Matt, and he's talking about handling difficulties as a tarot reader, and he kind of packaged it from the perspective of a tarot reader who, or as a tarot reader, how to stay safe, how to not put yourself in risky situations, how to navigate not just like hard readings, difficult spreads, tough questions kind of thing. No, this is like stalkers, like how to handle that, when to, you know, signal for help, how to create a signal system kind of thing, so that you basically don't like put yourself in terrible situations and get hurt. And he showed us a story, a couple stories actually, of a reader who was murdered because she advised her client to leave her partner, and the partner came back and hurt her. And that could totally happen. Apparently it does. So it just puts it in the forefront of my mind. It's like, I'm glad I'm a little, I mean, I try to put my face out there. I try to be out there as a public persona, but when it comes to where my personal life is, I'm kind of tight-lipped about it. So I think I'm gonna stick that way. So that was awesome to listen to, and he's funny and witty and intelligent and brilliant, and I don't know. I just enjoyed hearing his brain crack open as a keynote speaker for us on stage. That was kind of amazing to go see. Then my pièce de résistance was Benabel Wen when she presented the tarot reader as a healer. Why now, why you, and how. And basically it's whole synopsis, and I still have to digest this. I still have to take this in. Benabel doesn't pull any punches when it comes to providing information. That woman info dumps like her soul to you, and OMG, I just want to like soak it all up. Like what I would give to be able to chew on her brain. Like, I mean, not literally, but just like, can I like symbiotically just digest you? Just give me some, just some. She is funny too. Like she is impassioned and firm. Like I've watched a lot of her videos on YouTube over the years, and it makes me want to go back and watch more. She is more passionate in person than she is in her videos, or in some of her videos, but I love being able to see her realness come across. She was like authentically herself. She was very much exactly who and what she was, and it felt like, I mean, I have no clue what was going on in her head, but if she was nervous, she didn't look like it. She looks like she does this every day on Tuesday, and told you all about it, and gave us so much in the way of resources and information, and sent us a link to download the PowerPoint, download the like the additional resources that she provided for us. She wrote out a legal disclaimer for us to apply to our websites when we do health readings. I, for some reason, was stuck in the land of you don't do health readings because you're not a doctor, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm not a doctor, but I have a medical background. I love medicine. I love science. I love solving puzzles. And I feel like I could make value and have impact by incorporating that into my practice in some way, shape, or form. I have no clue how. I don't even know if, right? So I'm not flying off that handle yet, but I'm so glad that I have all the information available to me to be able to do that from a low risk liability standpoint. So thank you, Benabel. Thank you, Benabel. Oh my gosh. After that, I was spent and I needed food. So they had a bingo and trivia that I believe they were doing with someone else and Ethany Dawn. Talk about like my first semi-celebrity moment of like walking into the hotel and I see Ethany Dawn sitting with her partner and a few other people in a circle, like directly as I'm walking by to go to my hotel room. I'm just trying to like, do you see? Like these are people that are juggernauts in my field that I have so much respect for, and I'm seeing them. I'm not used to that. I live in Seattle. I live in a small little area of Seattle. That's all. Anyway, let me continue. So that was the dominant aspect of the first day. So I go get dinner. I go back to my room. I kind of digest all of the food and then all of that. I go to Target. I come back. I have some emotions. I deal with that. I talk to my wife. We have these conversations, and I'm just really excited and inspired and ready to jump in. Like I'm getting ready to get my head wet. My hands dirty, my hair wet. Anyway, whatever. I'm hopping in. I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to the next day. So day 2. Day 2 is a series of classes where you have 2 primary classrooms, one in Columbia, one in Clackamas. I'm butchering all of it. So C1, C2. So let me chat just about the ones that I'll chat about what was available, about the titles that were available, but I can only speak about the ones that I attended. The best thing ever, though, that all of these classes were recorded, and we got links the whole time. So one, I have classes I need to revisit, and then two, I have classes I need to attend. So like just to kind of circle back and see them, because of course you over here like, oh my God, that was so amazing, or oh my God, that was absolute garbage, you know, and you hear these things and you're like, ah, cool, I need to go grab that. So it's part of the package of coming to this event. All of the classes were recorded, so we have access to that as well. I cannot thank the moon and stars enough for that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So the first one that I was going to go to actually canceled and got rescheduled. So instead, I went to Madame, I don't want to butcher her name, Pamita. I might have to like put a little shot or something of it here. Tarot Speed Friending. And it was so cute how she got us all kind of icebreaking and talking with each other by answering questions according to a book that she wrote. And I'm just like, one, I need the book. Two, this is cool. And three, the woman that I've been trying to talk to for like 2 days is at the other end of the room, and she's also the same number as I am, so we're never gonna see each other is what it's gonna be. So like, dang it, we're never gonna do this. After that, I went to Susan Chang's Tarot Spreadsheeting 101. If you've ever been, like she said, welcome to the nerdiest course on tarot you'll ever have. And it was all about like tracking tarot inside Google Sheets, or you know, a spreadsheeting program like that, so that you can track your cards of the day, for instance, and kind of watch how you are having trends over spaces of time, so you can actually see quantifiably how many times you got the suits, how many times you got the wands, how many times you got the cups, how many times you got knights, how many times this card stalked you over a course of a month or what have you. And I'm a low-key nerd for that, but it was low-key real dry too. But it was so cool that she gave me access to a Google spreadsheet that she created that I totally downloaded and made a copy of. And it's going to live in my whole little platform. And in those spaces of time where I'm being a little bit more methodical about my daily pulls or my daily practice, then I totally may revert to that. I also have a friend who's a Virgo who would nerd all the way smooth out with that. So I might just send it to her as like a, hey, sweet pea, you can have this. After that class, I went to, that was to lunch. No, that was not to lunch. We had Angelo, I don't want to butcher his last name, but dear sweet Angelo, he talked about divination in the ancient world, and he shared a little bit about some of the ancient Greek and I think Roman, or subtle Roman, like divination practices, beliefs, ideas, and things of that nature. It seemed like it was like one of his first little, conversation or times kind of presenting in that format. So he seemed a little nervous at first, but I loved his stories. I absolutely loved his stories. So when he was like getting super comfortable and relaxed and just telling the story about the thing, I'm like, oh, I'm here for it, honey. Like, keep going. But he was quite interesting to listen to, and he was intelligent and so smart. And I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting him to be smart, but I'm always impressed when you see people nerd out about things that they're in love with, and you could just see that he's an academic. He's nerding out on this thing, and it's refreshing to see passion about something. So I absolutely loved it. I did make a point of, after that, going to the fair. We have a big psychic fair that is happening downstairs below all of this, so I made a point to go over there. It had just opened up. I went and kind of did the first round robin. It's always a little awkward when you first walk into a fair, because I always feel like I'm on display, like I'm meat and all of the carnivores are watching. So I try to say hello, try to be sweet, try to visit as many people as possible. But at first I try to do the first lap before making a purchase, but I got about 2/3 the way through, and then I made my first purchase, so it's like, dang it. But I did do pretty well. Got something that I had been wanting to get, got books, and then I got yelled at, and then I left. But yeah, I got yelled at by one of the vendors, and understandably, I was about to do something I probably shouldn't have. That probably could have been done differently, but it is what it is, and I promptly then left. Anyway, That was funny as hell. So after that, we come back to class, and I did not really want to do the two that were going to be happening at 1. So I waited until 2:30 when Emily Rose did a workshop on divination on purpose, or on your purpose. And she gave us a beautiful spread that I've kind of tweaked to match my kind of language and reading style. And she talks about how she blends tarot and Lenormand. I now own 2 Lenormand decks. Where's my other one? I now own 2 Lenormand decks, which I've never owned. Well, I have owned them before, but I didn't vibe with them originally. And now that I've seen like so many references on how to like incorporate Lenormand into your tarot work, I'm like, okay, I'm here for it. So I bought them. I bought them. We then, after that, was Sherry Stone for me anyway. They have all the other classes, but I went to Sherry Stone, and her class was Hoodoo is for Everyone. And Sherry, I just want to hug her. She is like everybody's auntie. Like, you need a Sherry in your life. She's the person who will call you on your bullshit and also like help wipe your tears. You know, she's just that person that'll help you probably bury the body and then give you a big ass lecture as to why you shouldn't be killing folks to begin with. But she's super sweet. She's so sweet. I just wanted to give her a hug. And I don't even know if she knows that this was me, but when we were, and I was just getting there and I was dragging my luggage into the hotel, there's a little bit of an up ramp. And for whatever reasons, my suitcases and I did not make it up that ramp. Like, it wasn't even, it's like a 2% incline. It's nothing. And I tripped twice up that ramp in front of her. She's walking down the corridor. I'm trying to go up the ramp. I trip, and I trip again. And I'm just like, okay, you didn't see that. And she's like, I was rooting for you the whole time. And I'm just like, this woman doesn't even know me. And here I am falling in front of her. But yeah, she does have a book called Hoodoo is for Everybody. And I bought it. And I look forward to reading it. And I look forward to understanding Hoodoo from a perspective of someone who thinks of it as an open practice instead of one that's a little bit more closed. So I'm actually deeply fascinated now, because I'm not into Hoodoo personally. I don't know what my philosophy, my belief structure is, because it doesn't fit into a pre-made system. So I love the ideas of everything. So I look forward to listening to her ideas and how I can incorporate her ideas into my practice from a place of knowledge, wisdom, and a little bit of information. So I'm looking really forward to digesting this book as well. And I went ahead and bought her other book, The Hoodoo Guide to the Bible. And it's been a long time since I've dealt with anything regarding the Bible, but she's got verses in here that are, if I remember how she described it then, it was taking verses that are often looked at as non-inclusive and flip them, twist them around, rewrite them even for the inclusivity that is necessary or needed or whatever it is for you to then use in your working, or then use in your spell, or use in your prayer. So I'm freaking excited to spend some time with those 4 books that I've bought on this little journey of mine. So after that, after Sherry, I watched or I listened to Christine Ashworth, and Christine Ashworth is the sister of Scott Cunningham. And if you don't know who Scott Cunningham is, he is like the most prolific author on witchcraft and books around that subject matter until he passed away. 1990s, I forget. I think she said 93. I for some reason thought he was older than that. So that he died like a few years ago, not 93. So I was impressed. I was proud. You could tell that it was still like right here for her. She was holding very well together, but still talking about the story, still getting emotional. That's her family. That's her brother. You'd expect that. But it was just so beautiful being able to talk to her and get to know this soul that's over here talking with us about the publishing of your metaphysical work. Book, nonfiction, fiction. I was hoping to hear a little bit more about the publishing business or the publishing side, but she did give us a lot of excuse me, there's a hiccup. I just ate, so good luck. She gave us a lot of wonderful information regarding how to structure a time discipline, a writing discipline, a time commitment, and also how to flush out your outline and your idea so that it's a little bit more on point and more likely to get finished, so that it can be edited, so it can then go through its different drafts and then be like, pitched to writing agents and so forth. So I put that in my back pocket because that stuff will be necessary at some point. And then I listened to, oh my gosh, okay, another mind-blowing moment for me. A young lady, Brandy Rochelle, she is freaking awesome. I'll just say that. Let me read actually what she does, because it's worth saying it out loud. She's a former law enforcement and crime intelligence analyst. That's what she does, or did, former. And she did a class called Card Readers and Law Enforcement, How to Work a Case. We worked a real crime. It was a homicide. A real crime with tarot. She showed us how to look at the cards from a literal point of view, not just the esoteric, the high level. Oh, it was like, the feel of. No, look at that card. What do you see? The cross stands out. That cross is the tattoo the guy has on his face. When I was, they separated us into groups, and we were pulling cards as individuals and as a group. The first card I got for this particular person, after they gave us stats and details, this particular person was Judgment. Judgment has a trumpet, a cross on the face, wings, and a bunch of other stuff. And I couldn't understand why this angel is standing out for me. This makes no sense. I thought it was something to do with the mouth. Turned out he had a forked tongue, the guy that did the homicide. He also had wings tattooed on his back. Mind blowing all over the place. So she's kind of sparked this deep interest now that I have about looking into true crime, missing persons, all these other types of cases, just for the experience and the shifting my view, shifting my view from the esoteric to the literal, esoteric to the practical, how to look at symbolism and take it at its face instead of trying to make it something that it's not, or even rushing in to assume that you know what the meaning is. Because so often as readers, we think we know a thing, and we think we know the outline of the thing. And with that outline, we make up a story, we make up a narrative, and that's got to be true, right? Because we have all these stories that fit that narrative. No, your outline is completely correct. However, we colored it wrong. And so that relationship that you're seeing in those cards, that wasn't his girlfriend. That was his mama. That was his mama that he was living with. That was his mama that was protecting him. Mind blown. Just mind blown. So I have a new interest, and I totally sat with her for like an hour and a half, just digesting the stuff that she was talking about and listening to how she spoke and her like persona and the work that she was doing, and it was wildly fascinating. So I'm looking forward to digging into that, and we've made some like tarot connections. We're like, we're gonna have to talk later. So that was a lot of fun. And that was the end of day two. Yeah, let's go ahead and keep going. So day 3, September. Oh, today, not September, Sunday. Today is day 3. I'm at the end of day 3, and day 3 was different. I didn't like day 3 as much as day 2. And honestly, day 3 had a lot to live up to, because I had some transformative days. Because every night afterwards, I would write, I would journal. I did pull one set of cards for myself this entire time. I thought I was going to be unpacking my life, but I was too busy decompressing. I was too busy showering. I was too busy eating. I was too busy talking, doing everything but what I wanted to do, cleaning up my room, those kind of things. So no, I did not unpack my life like I thought I was going to. But start of day 3, the first session I didn't go to, actually. I have this habit. I'm a night owl, right? So I tend to stay up really late innately, and then our classes start at 9, so I'm going to bed at 3, and my alarms are going off at 6. I'm not hearing them till 7, and then I need to be getting dressed around 8. I wake up at 8:27. So I need, yeah, it makes no sense. I know. I could totally do that better, but I like staying up. I love the nighttime. Oh my God, I totally forgot to drink my coffee. I'm gonna go get my coffee. Oof. This would have been better warm. The only thing I didn't like about this hotel is that I didn't have a way of, I didn't have a microwave here. So everything I ate today, I didn't want to eat in the hall or in the dining room. I just don't care. I like having downtime and alone time. And I wanted to eat in my room, and they don't have a microwave. So anything I got was just like dry stuff or stuff that I could, just put in the fridge, pop out, eat it that way. So nothing bad. It's just like, oh, I would have loved to have a microwave meal or whatever. None of that. So I'm gonna sip my coffee. Thank you. So I didn't go to the first 2 sessions because I stayed up late, and I really just could use the time to kind of actually get dressed. So I got dressed. After that, I thought I was gonna go to this session on neuroscience, the neuroscience of tarot, and I was so interested in it. But I thought I was going to get something different by going to this other class. And so I went to this other one that was actually quite interesting. So it was one of those where it's like, oh, they're both good. I should have gone to the neuroscience one, is where it's at. But I'm glad I went to this one, because it's reminding me to think more inclusively regarding my work as a reader. This was Avery Fawcett, and her speech was taking tarot off the relationship escalator. And she gave me language for concepts that I witness a lot in tarot, or when I'm working with clients I don't know how to speak to. I talk around the subject, but I don't really know how to speak to. And I'll totally have to make another video on it, because this is I'm working on 30 minutes as we speak, so let me not take more time than that. But she gave me language about script. She gave me language about this escalator and this social construct that we have, and I totally needed that. I needed to have that. And I'm totally going to watch this thing on neuroscience as soon as I get the opportunity to do so. So those 2 things are happening. Right after that, we went to Al's class, and this is tarot time, and telling timing within tarot. And I have what I feel like is a very useful, accurate, wonderful technique for telling time. However, I am always open to new processes and new ideas. I should have went and saw it. Not that. What did I say? Sorry, I looked down and I saw something, and no, I did not mean that. Point is, we went to go see Al's thing, and I'm listening to his presentation, and he's sharing his philosophy, his routine for telling time, and it's quite useful, and there's some components to it that I've not thought about before, and it's like, ooh, I'm gonna have to keep that. Ooh, I'm gonna have to keep that. And I was able to read for the person that was sitting directly to my side, and we did Al's version of timing, and then we compared it to my own personal process with timing, and she learned something, and the timing was the same. So it's like, yay, it doesn't matter. So I really enjoyed learning that subtle different aspect on how to tell time. So that was cool. After that, I had lunch. So we had lunch, and then I decided not to have lunch downstairs, so I had it up in the room again. And then we went to another class called by Sarah James, Networking and How It Can Build Your Party Business. And it didn't give me what I was expecting, and a lot of us kind of felt that way. But we gave constructive criticism and some ideas, and we are hopeful that it was useful, and if we just get to move on from there. After that, we saw Miss Marie, Break Free, Tarot Reading Without a Spread. I probably should have actually gone to Miss Gordman's mantra, Manage, because I already tend to read. When I'm working with clients, I tend to read without spreads. Like, I start with a spread and then break out of it, kind of thing. And her process was similar. So it's just like, oh, you and I do this already. Okay, well, let's chat, you know? So I didn't like that I was having more of those, like, oh, I missed the mark. I could have gone to something that was more unique for me, or more like something I knew nothing about. That's what I should have done. That's what I should have done. Next time. The last one was Charm Casting by Linda Shoemaker, and that was a lot of fun because I've been exploring bone throwing and charm casting, like that mechanical, what is it, geomancy, the mechanical moving of using objects instead of cards. So I'm working my way through there. She gave us some cute little ideas and a cute little bag of charms. And I have some charms coming in the mail here soon, so I'm gonna have some resources in a little bit. But I'm totally thinking that charms are gonna have to be part of my work in a way. Might just have to be. I don't know how yet, but yeah, it might just have to be. But out of all of those, oh, and then the session ended. Like, the symposium's over. It's so sad. But I made friends. I've made connections. I got to hug Chris Ann. So for me, that's epic sauce because I have so much respect for that woman. Her bracelet promptly got stuck on my sweater, so I spent like 2 minutes in this squat position so that she could get her bracelet unstuck from my sweater, and it was hilarious. And I wanted to talk to her more, but I knew I don't know her that well, so it's not like I have this whole conversation that I can have. I just know her from the service that she gave me. I know her from the course that I took, and how amazing I thought she was, and how welcoming. I always feel I got her to sign a deck of hers that I brought with me. So yeah, I was just taken, and I wanted to talk to her more, but I didn't get a chance to speak to Benabelle. I walked past her twice, but she was engaged in conversation, so I'm not going to be like, hi, can I shake your hand? No, I'm not going to do that. I do think that she was in the room across from me, though. Like, I low-key think she was. I'm not going to tell you how I know that, but, and I don't even know that for real. Like, I think she was there because I think I saw her, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, so I saw her. I saw Barbara Moore. Funny, talked to her. Oh God, Jamie Sawyer is funny as hell. And it was crazy because I didn't even know that was her. Sorry, when I was in the psychic fair, I was walking around their first opening, so I suspect that she hasn't had a lot of time to talk to a bunch of different people yet. So I come up to her and I'm talking to her about like product design and AI files and how to set up files for printing and this kind of thing. And she's talking about how sometimes she works with designers that aren't, or artists who aren't designers, and so they don't know how to set up a print file. And we're just, throwing stuff around. I didn't know that was Jamie. And so every time we run into each other, it's just like, hi, and super warm, super gracious. She's tattooed head to toe. I'm like, oh, I just want to hug you. And now I have to follow everything that she has. I'm going to never sell any of her cards again. Well, I am going to sell them, but like the next time I get a batch in, I'm keeping them. But I'm just impressed. I'm impressed that I saw so many people that I know in the tarot industry, that I have so much respect for in the tarot industry. I got yelled at twice. I got yelled at once during the psychic session. I got yelled at by, or Karen rather. He got spoken to in a way that wasn't exactly conducive to, standard conversation in the hallway when I was laughing a little too loudly, I guess. Understandably, she had children, need to keep down for the kiddos. Got it. There's just nicer ways to go about that. And I made friends. So out of all of this, I think the only thing that I would do differently is I would attend the entire event from start to finish. So that's Thursday all the way through Sunday. And I think I would stay an extra day. So if I could have my ideal universe, and for some reason, like shipping is handled, businesses are handled, and I can do this away, I would go, I would travel Wednesday to start Thursday, to visit, or to be here all the way through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, stay all day Monday, because, digest and relax, and spend that evening unpacking more stuff and, digesting the stuff, the material, the things, visiting the city if needed, and then leave Tuesday. That would be my ideal. But I can't be away from my business for that long, and I love my family too much to be away from them for that long. So yeah, that would probably be the only thing that I would do differently, is just have more time here. So yeah, that is how the Northwest Tarot Symposium went down for me. And I've been talking about it for about 40 minutes now, and I still have things that I need to go write down. I've changed aspects of my business because of it. I've incorporated a blog into my website because of it. I've decided I'm not going to monetize an aspect of my business anymore. I'm going to produce it for free. I've made connections with some of the most interesting people I've ever met. I'm floored and excited, and I got new stones, I got new toys, but I need this. I need this more often. So I'm going to go to next year. I cannot wait to see it. It's basically too big for this environment. So they're going to go to a bigger space now. And I'm so thrilled that I was able to come. So yeah, thank you so much for hanging in there with me. If you like this video, please subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up. And I look forward to seeing you again here soon. Bye. I did a quick walkthrough because I don't know how much time I have in this little ability to record in the app. So this is the room. I'm about to make it all homey here in a second with all my stuff. But yeah, that's the thing. Fridge is in there. I already got some stash. Yay! Big old mirror. Hi! I'm actually sad because it's such a big bed and I don't have you to share it with. So I'm going to like it and hate it all at the same time. I stayed there in front of the booth until I heard back from you. There was no way I was going to leave and not get this done. So if you just like the bead, we can always change it out for something else. But yep, just the Bumblebee Jasper and a cord. And this I got for myself. I know I can't quite do justice to how pretty that blue is. Yeah, and a little skull. This is what